So welcome back to Deposit That. For those of you that know me, I'm really not an engager on social media. I don't like politics. I kind of like bullshit here and there, whatever. But I log into LinkedIn on Sunday morning, a couple weeks back, and I get this notification like, hey, congratulate the new CEO of lendware. And I'm like, oh, this seems interesting. I'm like, I'm a CEO of a tech company. I got an AI inside of like my umbrella. I'm like, let me just reach out to this guy and say, like, basically, I know what you're going through as CEO of a company in the tech space. And hey, like, why don't we just connect this week? I'm in New York City. And instantly, this man to my left replies. And the rest is history. We met that Thursday for a 20-minute meeting. And 2 hours later, we were talking about college football, being a father. And now here we are. Lendware, welcome to Deposit That.
Thanks so much for having us.
2025. Josh, share your story, man. What do you got?
Yeah, thanks so much, Jeff. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Josh Glantz. I'm CEO of lendware. I joined the company 2 months ago. I have 30 years of experience building internet companies, a lot of experience building CRM platforms in different verticals. Joined lendware to take it to new heights. Really excited about the opportunity because timing is perfect.
I think it's beyond perfect. And then I had the privilege a week or 5 days after we met for the first time in person to meet Joe, where you guys, from what I hear, are reunited. I want to hear this story because I'm a big believer in dynasties, right? And the GM brought his head coach back, it sounds like, or something along those lines,
Yeah, so Josh and I met 10 years ago at this point at a company called Single Platform. And it was a restaurant tech company. I was an AE, moved all the way up to director of sales. We did a lot of really cool things there, but kind of like how you and Josh hit it off right away, as you were telling the story in New York City last week. That was me and Josh, right? As soon as he came in, we kind of met each other, had some conversations, and right away we said, all right, let's go get after it.
I think that's really important in today's world, me personally, right? I think I'm where I'm at. So as I said, like I'll be 39 in December, like a month and whatever, 14
you're
days
a kid.
from now. You're right. So you know what's crazy? And you can share this with me, and we're both on like the same end of this world, right? It's like, I know how many lives I've lived by 38 and 11 months, right? And there's so much still new that I need to learn, that I want to learn. Like every day I wake up with a curious heart, I always say, right? And I also know what I've experienced from 20 to 30, like being in the lending game for that long. But organic, authentic relationships are so hard to come by. And that's why I think I admired, especially your guys' dynamic from the moment I heard your story, is because if you said that properly, I'm getting the chills. So just edit this out, will you? Should have shaved my arm so you couldn't see my hair stand up. Like you build something beautiful, special together. Whether it sinks or doesn't, right? Like sink or swim. Hey, you guys were in the trenches together at some capacity in some form of life. You guys went opposite directions. Kind of, you went left, you went right, because that's just where those exit detours took you. And then you got your new ship, and you called the guy that you helped, or that you guys helped groom and form together your relationship, come back and man your ship, right? And put him in a very crucial, critical role of that. So I find such like beauty in that, because you can't fake that, right? And if you didn't trust him, he wouldn't be here. And if you didn't trust him, you wouldn't be here.
That is very true. Whenever you're moving different companies, it goes both ways, right? It's, do you trust them to come on the ship with you, and do you want to jump on that ship? And when I got the call from Josh, learned more about the opportunity, I just got so excited about the vision that he had to share, and excited to be here.
I've stayed connected to a lot of people who I've worked with in the past. I've gone through jobs where I have said, I am not bringing anybody with me because I wasn't confident of the outcome. And I've gone through jobs where I've reached out to people from my past and said, please join me, because I was confident. This is one where I believe in it and I'm really excited. And it's not just about me being excited about it. It's also finding the right people to join you in the journey. We have a great team at lendware, people who've been with the company for several years, who've stuck with it even through this transition when we joined. I'm lucky that there was an opportunity to bring one of my own people in to lead our sales and go-to-market motion. And Joe is perfect for it for so many reasons.
What makes you special? So I know you don't know me well. I'm sure you got a good 2-minute free preview of our time spent together. Yeah. 2 minutes by 9 hours, right? But it probably felt like 20 days. Mike, who's sitting over here, like I've seen him. Like he's kind of crazy, right? Sometimes
incredible energy.
But if I don't like you, like you're gonna know I don't like you. I always say like no one's ever gonna be like, oh, does Jeff like me or not? Like you're gonna know if I'm like taking care of you or if like you're just completely out of my existence, right? I know you're special. I don't know why I know you're special yet. I think it's more of like a safety thing for me, my nervous system. I've gotten big into, shout out to Midtown Biohack, by the way. That's where I go reset my nervous system. I've gotten very much so into who can I be my authentic self around? And I look at the duration from when I meet somebody physically to when I know I can automatically be myself. And I'm always myself. Like I always get me. But it's like how much, not only do I open up to this person, but what boxes are we checking off on like a moral or spiritual compass? And I know you're special. I want to hear about what makes you special because you're the leader of an organization and people know that.
I think what makes me special is that I know that I don't know everything. And I want to make sure that I surround myself with people who are passionate. Mm-hmm. I don't think the people who are around me know everything about everything either, but they're really passionate about what they're doing. They've got 2 feet in the boat, and I don't want to get in their way. The only thing that I care about is making sure that they have the tools and the runway to do their jobs and to be successful. And I think that it's the honesty about my strengths and my gaps, but also being honest about other people's strengths and their gaps. And that's professionally, my personal life, all of it. I just want to be really candid. I don't necessarily bring the same crazy energy that you do and enthusiasm, but it's just like making sure that everybody has that opportunity to be successful.
Yeah, I don't see you as somebody that makes like rash decisions or harsh decisions. I feel like you're somebody that's very even keel, level head. Like you always know what you're going to get from a consistency standpoint.
Yeah, I have said that as well about myself. I try really hard to be even keeled. It's not always easy, and I've been through moments where it would have been really, really. The easier path would have been to run around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Blow everything up.
When Joe and I were working together in 2017, a lot of people who were working at this company don't know, and I'm about to share it. But we were probably 48 hours from a lot of people losing their jobs, not because the company wasn't performing, but because it was. And we had a parent company that wanted to just milk all of our revenue and take all of our profit, and they wanted to maximize that. And I said, we have growth opportunities that you're not taking advantage of. And I fought for that. And we were successful at not going through that process. And 150 people kept their jobs because of it. And nobody knew.
And I think that says exactly like, as we form a relationship organically in zero rush format. I think that's also very important to say is, I've been big on intentions, right? So after we met, I'm like, well, what are our goals and mission here? What are my intentions? What are Josh's speculative intentions, right? Early on, I think we start understanding, and I call it underwriting a relationship, right? It's not, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? It's like, what can we do together? And if it's not like, hey, what can we do together? Let's just put it on the table. I mean, because like we're all men here, and like, what are we gonna lay each other down for? You know, like that's just not what I'm here for. I'm big into alignment. This phase of my life, and again, approaching 40, and also setting and leading by example for my 7-year-old son. Everything that I've been learning, I've been trying to then slowly, like children style, implement to him too. Like, hey, buddy, what are your intentions with this? Like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, this is huge here because I know this is so raw and organic. Like, Josh is the guy that's not going to drop the guillotine when he has probably every right to drop the guillotine. And I think in this world of private equity and VC and money, people can 150 people's lives, livelihood, finances, not think twice about it. And those 150 people are missing their car payment, not able to feed their kids, missing their mortgage payment, and they're in shock. And I think that's probably right why I feel you're special, because I know you're the guy that's going to protect both sides. I could be wrong, but I think Joe could attest to that.
You're not wrong. I just found out that story recently, about a week ago.
Was he one of the 150?
Yes. Oh yeah. Whew. Yeah. And I never even knew about it. So until
probably not
years and
surprised
years
to
later,
hear that, though.
No, I wasn't surprised to hear it. If there's a problem, he'll find a way to solve that problem
The right way.
But what I thought was more interesting is we had a very good relationship back then too. I had no idea how close I was to losing my job at that point, and I guess the other 149 people didn't know that either.
Well, and the hard part in going through that process for me was everything I do professionally is about transparency. I want everybody to know everything. But when something is 100% out of your control, that level of transparency can be counterproductive.
Really?
Yeah.
Because there's no control.
I wanted everybody to stay focused on their job and not have fear. And I had confidence that I could create a situation that would work out for everybody.
So I want to hear about your excitement and opportunity of entering an unknown space. I know you said you had your real estate license, not taking that away from you by any means.
It's an unknown space.
You're entering an unknown, and it's kind of a little bit for you too, Josh, right? I mean, this is a whole new world of...
I have CRM experience. Yeah. I have internet experience.
That's product
I have
experience.
Software as a service experience.
But
I don't
the mortgage
have
world.
Mortgage world experience.
Right. The mortgage and lending world.
Yeah.
What makes you most excited about it? And then also the plug and play model of the CRM space and now doing it in a different industry.
Yeah. So at first, when I got the call about this, and I said, well, I don't know. I've never done anything in the mortgage industry. Yeah. I was a little hesitant, to be honest. I mean, it's jumping into something brand new, but I love the challenge and I love figuring out how to make that work. What I do know and what I have confidence in is I've spent the last 10 years building high performance sales teams. And
human sales
teams. And what I've learned over time is whether it is your mortgage brokers, your loan officers, or your AEs, it just comes down to systems, process, and automation. And a lot of these people, doesn't matter what industry you're in, if they're not following some sort of playbook, they're just not going to be successful. So when I learned about the opportunity at Lendware, having... Would you call it the unicorn of CRMs?
You like that, right?
I love that.
You like that.
Love it.
I mean, the pressure's on when you say that to people, though.
That's all right. Yeah, raise the bar a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's step one.
If you fall short, you're still number one.
It's true.
That's step one. It's just having the right tools, right? Having the right tools in your toolbox. So having a very easy to use CRM for some folks that may not be the most tech savvy out there, it's empowering them. And that's part of what our mission is. It's to make top producers, but that's only the tip of the spear. We have a lot more to do. And with Lendware Predict, the analogy I'll give is Lake Michigan, right? Absolutely massive. Let's say you're going out there fishing on Lake Michigan, and you could spend all day throwing the hook out there trying to catch a fish. Well, Lendware Predict, in conjunction with our CRM tool, it's the fish finder. And that's what we're all trying to do, is how do we make money really, really quickly? And if we can give our clients, our customers, the ability to say, hey, these are the people you need to get in touch with today to close that transaction faster, I think it's a win-win for everybody involved.
You know, I just saw your next marketing campaign. But did I see the Halloween picture? I gotta see the Halloween marketing from last week.
Yeah.
Him on a boat.
I think we
you
use
as the fisherman with the Lendware, and then throwing fish into the sea and mortgage people picking it up. You know, hey, are you fishing without radar or sonar or whatever it is, right? And having the fish there, oh, go this way.
Yeah.
But I think, obviously, jokes aside, the industry needs it. And as we always have spoken about in the past 2 weeks, it's not about you guys not having the best product or having the best product. It's about the adoption and implementation from the lending organizations to realize all right, these 15 CRMs stunk or didn't fulfill our need, or it was an overpromise, under-deliver. What's your guys' plan of attack today for the mortgage audience watching to infiltrate their ecosystem and become their go-to high-powered CRM and predictive analytics? What does that look like?
So I think that there's a couple of things here. One is on the product side, and one is on the go-to-market side.
Okay.
So on the product side, I think it's easy for us to say that we already have the easiest platform to use, the easiest software for a loan officer or mortgage broker to use. But unless you actually get it in front of them, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. All right. And even saying that it's the easiest to use doesn't mean that it's useful.
Right. If they don't use it.
Right. So what we're doing right now is we're taking our CRM software, and I don't like the term CRM software. I like it growth engine.
Growth revenue engine.
Growth revenue engine.
Enablement platform.
That, REP. Yeah, REP.
Right?
Forget CRM, REP. Keep the R.
But to take that, which everybody thinks of whatever we call this software, it's B2B software, and B2B software is really boring. Nobody says, I can't wait to log into my Salesforce software or
and
my
no one wants
HubSpot.
to go from boring to boring.
Nobody
right?
wants to do any of that, all right? But if you think about what software people use every day that they are excited to use, most of it is coming on the consumer side, and it's on their phone. So how do you take that consumer engagement construct and move it into this business environment? And that's what we're working on right now. And so without getting like too crazy into it, in Q1, you're going to see a whole different way of engaging with business software that's going to feel a lot more like the apps that you use every day on your phone.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Just from the go-to-market side, what's interesting is when we met last week, it completely changed my perspective at the expo, because what I'm a big believer is deals are made when problems are solved.
Yep.
So when I first looked at lendware and I looked at the CRM and I said to myself, well, what problems are we solving? There's so many data silos within that tech stack, right? There's the CRM that they're using today. There's the marketing suite that they may or may not have connected to their CRM. There's the loan origination system. There's all these different platforms that they're not necessarily talking to each other. So that was the problem at all. And so I said to myself, boom, that's it. That's how I'm going to market. Funny enough, when we met in New York, my perception changed a lot on that, because everybody was straight shooters. The energy in that room felt so great. I was so excited, so energized myself when I left that day, because everybody wants to know, how am I making money today? How am I making money today? Yeah. So my mind shift's already changed a little bit on how I plan on going to market, from solving this problem to, it might be as easy as saying, hey, do you want to make money today?
I think we spoke about that.
Yeah. So we're going to try it out. And the most important thing to me is, how do we create a scalable, repeatable process?
Love it. So for the CEOs watching, I'm not talking about the CEOs that like open up an LLC and give themselves the founder CEO role, and they're sitting in their mother's basement, usually in their, professional up top, not professional down below. If you're doing that, great. We welcome you to listen. What's it like, pressure-wise and also opportunity-wise, taking over the type of operation? And I don't know how transparent you want to get of what happened in the prior, regiment of what went down. But what awarded you this opportunity? And now being in this CEO position, talk to me about the balance of, again, super optimistic, enthusiastic. We know what we have. We have the gold. Now we just got to get the gold out there. Versus also the pressure you face.
Yeah. So taking over something that's already an existing business with revenue, with customers, is a very different experience from starting something up from scratch.
That's your background normally.
I'm not the 0 to 1 person.
Oh, you're not?
No, I really prefer having something that
Really
is has some substance,
legs.
has some legs. It might have legs that are different lengths,
We're
and there's
talking
a
like
big
spider
limp.
legs or dinosaur
They
legs.
could be limp. They could be limping. But yeah, no, like any kind of legs, but where there's a problem and maybe they're tripping over themselves.
So that's your real skill set.
That's my skill set, is finding the opportunity. When the company where Joe and I previously worked together was doing about $19 million in revenue.
Wow.
And losing $7 million
So
a year.
Yeah, wow.
When I joined. And I was told your objective is to get this to break even in 1 year. And so
Did you do it
we did it
in 12 months
without firing people.
How much time to spare did you do it? Were you closing in on like day 364 or 5 or?
We could see profitability probably by 7 months.
Wow.
And it wasn't. I don't remember exactly what month we actually hit it, but the opportunities in a company that's doing $19 million in revenue are enormous. But also the problems that have built up over time
Also enormous.
are enormous.
Yeah.
And so figuring out which were the ones to go after that weren't going to crush the morale in the company, make the product break, turn off our customers and drive more churn, things like that are you just look at these individual areas and you say, where's there a lever to push? What type of an impact is that going to make to the business? And then let's just start knocking them off one at a time.
Eliminate or pour gasoline on, whichever
That's
one.
exactly right. And so Lendware is a smaller company than that, but similar issues. And you just start looking at where is there an opportunity to turn something off or pour the gas on it.
So you make really interesting remarks. And what I love about the pause that I told you earlier, if I didn't have to do anything ever again, I would only do a podcast. This is all I would do. I'd probably do 2 to 3 episodes a day, not Joe Rogan style. I think they're a little long. Like quick, like 20 minute to an hour long, get interesting people on and like educate people, help people. And what I love about this so much is like, I learn from my guests learn from me, we learn together, and then the audience learns, right? So I have the skill set and ability to come in and look at a broken process or system of companies, right? I just have that skill set because I've done it. That's all I know. Mm-hmm. But in the past 8 years, I've been the 0 to 1 guy. Right? Founder fatigue. I'm the janitor. I'm the CMO, CEO, CFO, COO, and every other of the letters in the alphabet, right? You get to a point where you're like, I'm just tired and I don't know what direction to go in. It's not like I can't go to 1.5 or 2, but do you know how hard it was to go from 0 to 1?
Yeah.
At what point do you believe a founder that's gone from 0 to 1 calls in backup or calls in the additional resources to go from 1 to 100? I know it's different for everyone.
It's different for every founder and for every business. And so you have the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world who figured it out. He surrounded himself with some really smart people who were able to adjust the business model over time, think at different scale over time. And so he's been able to stay in control over that entire ship.
It's impressive.
Which is remarkable. Then you have other entrepreneurs who've been doing the same business for 10 years. They, by hook or by crook, they get it to $2 million, $3 million, maybe a little bit of profitability. And they're just like, I don't know how to get it to 10. I don't know whether there's a way to expand horizontally or if I need to go more vertically, and I'm locked up. I don't know how to do this. And so what are my options? And some people hit that at $2 million of revenue. Some do it at $20 million of revenue. Some of them have raised money, and raising the money itself was the inflection point that either sent something through the roof or into the basement. Because
it's only 1 or 2 options, right? Yeah, you're not going to be stagnant at that if you raise like that.
Oh no, I know there are plenty of companies that just they get to $5 million of revenue, and then they don't know how to
even with pouring gasoline on it. Wow.
Because again, it could be that maybe they or the investors misjudged what the market was. Maybe they didn't have the right go-to-market motion. We're going to completely change our sales process at lendware, and Joe's going to be leading that entire effort, and we're also changing who our ideal customer profile is. And so you need to think about all of those different things to figure out, like, where is the market opportunity? You could say, oh, our market opportunity is with organizations that have 5,000 employees and up. But there's a big difference in selling to a company that has 5,000 employees versus a company that has 10 or 500.
Whole different
and maybe you're better off getting 10 clients that have 500 employees each than one that has 5,000.
Because now you're all or nothing, boom or bust.
That 5,000 person client can destroy your company in overnight.
Interesting.
If you're not prepared for it.
So how, from a dynamic standpoint, how hard is it to get your idea or strategy passed through to the king over here? Like, let's say you want to bring something. Walk me through that process of implementation and getting his, at this point, I'm sure he trusts you enough to be like, all right, Joe, this is what we're going to do. How hard was it to gain his trust in that in your past endeavor?
Well, to answer your first question, I mean, Josh and I talk all the time.
Multiple times a day.
Multiple
Why
times
don't
a
you
day.
talk a little bit about the different roles that you had at Single Platform and why getting through those roles engendered trust in and of itself?
Yeah. So I started Single Platform as a AE. My prior experience was I owned a minority share of a restaurant and bar. I was the general manager, and I got into restaurant tech by somebody selling me the product that I eventually sold. So I had a little bit of an upper hand. Wasn't the best sales rep, to be completely honest. Just wasn't.
You don't strike me as a sales guy.
Sure.
But by the way, not being the best salesperson is the best strength
Totally.
to have.
I totally agree.
Well, on a personal note, there's nobody that's going to outwork me. So you might be more talented than me in whatever it might be. You might be more talented than me, you might be smarter than me, but you're not going to outwork me. That's just how I've always been. So, and that's what I did at Single Platform. I worked really, really hard and did what I needed to do. And then when I met Josh, we kind of talked a little bit about, how can we take it to the next level? There was somewhat of an employee churn rate at the time. It was kind of sink or swim. So I revamped the entire training program. So by revamping the training program, I just kind of thought about how I learn. And how I learn is I'm very visual. I need a role play. I need, actually, I was just telling Josh, he quizzed me on a point of sale on the car ride over. And I said, oh, this is on my flashcards. Like I knew right away what it was because that's just how I learn. And I think that's how a lot of people learn. They learn by writing it out, by reading it, by speaking it. And those were some of the core concepts that I brought to our training program. And we were super successful in that. People got ramped up a lot sooner, a lot faster. They weren't churning out. They weren't getting fired, but they weren't quitting either because they felt that they had confidence walking from my classroom onto the sales floor.
How important is that mental and probably financial, but more mental safety and certainty for people that you're managing?
I think it's everything. I mean, people do not like uncertainty. It might not be the right answer. It might not be like the best plan.
Yeah.
But if you give them confidence, you give them certainty, they're going to work harder for you because they're going to feel a lot more involved. And that's kind of my leadership style today. It's servient. I'm here to support them. It's not the other way around. And I think that people really appreciate that. And they'll give the extra mile if they know that you're working as hard, if not harder, to do what they need to do.
Give me a real calendar time frame, talking about actual days for a mortgage company today that's using X, Y, and Z CRM, whoever list that might be, to getting approved, onboarded, set up with lendware. What does that calendar duration look like? And then also it's very hard to master things, but fully be operational and functional to see immediate financial benefit from the goal that you're able to mine. What does that calendar time frame look like? Start to revenue generator.
Our onboarding team is going to might get a little upset with us.
22 minutes.
If you're an individual loan officer, right, we are willing to work with you if you have the ability to use our software today.
Competency.
All right. And we can onboard you. If you don't have a software, if you're not on somebody else's CRM software, we can onboard you within 48 hours. Okay. If you are on another CRM platform, there is only the question of how quickly can we get access to your database.
And it's what current loan officer software whether it's Encompass or Byte or whatever it is.
Yes. So now, when I say, do you have the competency to use our software? We absolutely want to work with loan officers with and for whom we can get access to their LOS.
And then it's plug and play. You guys do the
plug
rest
and play
for the most part with them.
Well, so
from a customization standpoint.
From an onboarding perspective, and our software comes preloaded with workflows and automations.
Okay.
So you want to use everything that's already set up, plug and play.
Even better.
All right. If you want to customize all of your workflows and automations, and you want to create a highly customized email signature, I mean, there are innumerable ways in which you can customize the software, but by and large, it can be very quick.
So walk me through it. So I'm a loan officer. I say, hey, I'm with Vesta or whatever these loan officer softwares are now, right? Encompass. I'm with Encompass. I'm giving you access to my database. You guys come in, take over, implement, upload. I'm up and running in 48 hours.
If you are, so
I'm just giving an example.
Individual loan officer, not working for a big company, we're going to need your essentially an API key for your instance of Encompass.
Well, let's say that's 48
so there's a
hours.
Compliance process in there.
Assuming everything goes as planned, compliance and all that API. Again, I'm a compliance nightmare. That's neither here nor there. This is not the purpose of Deposit That. Talking about my lack of compliance regimen. Okay. So I'm up and running in 72 hours, let's call it. Okay. And now you have access to all my prior data and clients that have closed. How quickly am I going to get a report back of that gold that I'm not currently mining? How quickly could I potentially?
There are two pieces to that. So the first one is just using the CRM data. We can start showing you data and engagement data with, for all of the current clients, former clients, however many people you have in your database, right? If you want to start mining the gold that's in your data, we have this product that Joe mentioned earlier called lendware Predict.
Okay.
It is a predictive modeling software that will run your contacts across 5,000 different data points and will say this person is a higher likelihood to be buying a house in the next 3 to 6 months, higher likelihood to want to get a home equity line of credit, higher likelihood to do a cash out refi because they have plenty of equity in their house, but they also have some high interest credit cards.
So to be clear, somebody has closed 1,000 loans in their career. They have 10,000 people in their database. Your predictive analytics goes in, runs your data points across those, and then it says, hey, loan officer, you really should reach out to these 5 people because X, Y, and Z.
Today.
And it gives you exactly the reasoning, decision-making behind those predictive analytics.
Yes.
I mean, that sounds like taking candy from a baby.
It is. We have, I was talking to one of our clients 2 weeks ago who said, and this is an exact quote, you helped me get 4 refis in 1 month. All right. But what was really important about what he said was that we gave him 7 that he could have gotten. And because he didn't reach out to all of them as quickly as we had given him the higher scored opportunities, 3 of them were closed and refinanced by the servicer.
So someone else beat them.
Somebody stepped in front of him. I mean, there's the servicer on those loans already who has the data.
It's easier, yeah.
It's super easy for them, but we put you on an even footing with the servicer.
So it's almost like first alert, high intent. Like, hey, we're triggering this data. It's telling you before anyone else knows this person is the most likely to transact.
Refinance, yes. And doing it for people who, because interest rates are going down, are ready to refinance, that's easy.
Anyone can do that. Yeah.
Anybody can do that because you should at least know all the loans you've ever originated and who's eligible. But doing it because you know that they also have high interest on their credit card loans and doing a cash out refi will dramatically change all their
cash
entire
flow, finances, everything.
Because knowing that they have twins that are going to college in 2 years, and maybe they're going to want to look at a HELOC to finance that education. Maybe, and think about all of the different scenarios that might contribute to somebody wanting to do something that's over and above just there's a better interest rate right now.
Talk to me briefly again about not only the pressure, obviously pressure they say makes diamonds. And I'm a big believer of that, right? I read it in a rap lyric yesterday. It was like, Biggie said like more money, more problems. And then Jeezy came out and said, no, more problems, more money.
Yeah.
So with your history of taking the prior company that was doing 19 million in revenue, down 7 million a year, back to not only profitable, what's the goal here with lendware from a business standpoint? Obviously, you want to attract clients, you want to bring people onboarded. What does that look like from your standpoint, and how much pressure is being put on you to take lendware to the next leg in the market?
We're very fortunate that our investors are patient, and we're here because they trust us. And our goals are really nothing short of redefining how loan officers and mortgage brokers help their clients achieve their home ownership and financial dreams, while at the same time helping loan officers and mortgage brokers achieve their own financial goals. That's it.
That.
Like, that's our goal. When we redefine how software does that, and whether that means we're just creating the best CRM software with predictive analytics, or it means that we're going a little more broad across the mortgage software ecosystem and building out new ways to engage that other people have tried and failed, that's what we're going to do.
And just to be clear, your clients are mortgage brokers, mortgage bankers, lenders of any sort, banks, credit unions, anybody that's in the actual mortgage lending space, correct?
That's correct. Those are our clients. And our software helps them communicate with their clients, borrowers, and all of their partners. So their referral sources who are
realtors, attorneys, whoever, builders.
You got it.
So as we close up the pause of that episode, and this is also great because last time we had 2 guests, we leave the listeners with one thing to implement to their brain bank, right? So each one of you gets to share. It could be business related, personal related. What's one thing you want somebody to listen to this and say, hey, I really like Joe. And I remember on the podcast, Joe said this, and now I do this every day. Or when I'm faced with this obstacle, situation, opportunity, what's that one thing? And you guys can select who goes first.
Go ahead.
Like a real leader.
Yeah.
I want the last word.
Yeah, always. You gotta. That's it.
I would say just get disciplined, right? Like that's something that I see a lot of entrepreneurs, and whether you're a mortgage broker or a business owner or a sales rep, just get disciplined and get the reps in, but stick to that schedule. And if you do that brick by brick by brick, at the end of the month, end of the quarter, end of the year, you're going to have your house. But if you keep changing up the strategy, changing up the plans, you're never going to get where you need to go or where you want to go. So by having the right tools in place is only half the battle. You just got to get disciplined and stay with the activities that you need to do to really put yourself in a position to be successful.
Captain?
Yeah. So I think to be successful in business for me means bringing my whole self to work every day. I want my team to know who I am. I want them to know what my family's about, why. I want them to know what makes me tick and what I'm passionate about. And so I think that if they know that, then we can build and I want to know that for every one of them as well. And if we are all sharing in that way, then we build mutual trust and we will all fight much harder together to achieve our goals.
I love that. Well, I appreciate you both making the trip from New York and also from New York, but the other side of the Hudson River, New York. I'm super excited about, not only the interpersonal relationship, but obviously the professional relationship and watching that hybrid grow. I'm just really excited to get to know you guys better and see what we could do and make an impact on the market, but also really develop a nice friendship. So I appreciate you guys making the trip out to deposit that. Hopefully everybody that's listening reaches out to lendware.ai. Josh, Joe, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.